Hello and welcome to the Spartan Challenge, friends. Bryn, good to see you. Yeah, it's an earlier time slot. Babies are napping, and the faces be chopping. Always great to have you join. Hope you're having a good Sunday. I tried a new game last night with my friends called GTFO. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of like Left 4 Dead, but more serious with more of an emphasis on stealth and crazy alien future space station sort of stuff. Very interesting. I might stream that a little bit. But we can't forget our first love, Exanima. Yeah, I'm really excited for it too. I can't wait for some new content for this game. Even though I still find new stuff and discover new things and get better and better, new stuff is always good. Especially an overhauled arena. I think that's going to be good for this game for sure. I think it's going to bring a lot more people to try it out and play it some more. I kind of felt the arena was sort of weird at first. You know, I didn't understand the 12 units of money making one of the next one sort of concept. Even just a little bit of a pop-up at the beginning, like, hey, it's not 100. Okay, we survived the first fight. A little sloppy. Still need to warm up, but we lived, so that's a good sign. Getting stronger. I kind of think the community is sort of 50-50, to be honest. I think there's a lot of arena players who don't even touch the story mode, and there's a lot of story mode players who don't even touch the arena, and then you have the players kind of in the middle that will play both. So I think the arena is an easier way for this game to get popular, and then the story mode is just the cherry on the cake where you get some nice, deep, rich experience in this game through the story mode, so You know, I really love the arena. I think it's a ton of fun. The reason I like to play the story mode over the arena is that the story mode gives you more of a challenge that you just don't get in the arena. It puts you in much harder circumstances that you wouldn't normally run into. Is that a key? Holy shit. Never noticed there was a key there. I wonder what door that opens. The beast is a challenge, don't get me wrong, but you can be in worse situations than a beast in the story mode. You know, when you fight 2 fails or 3 fails at the same time, or Sir without good gear and he catches you in an open hallway, that's more danger than a beast challenge in arena. Just massacred. Third stab there should have killed him. Oh, I'm gonna do the arena on story mode too, or sorry, on stream too. You know, when the update comes out, like I've been kind of neglecting playing arena because I knew there was an arena update coming, so I didn't really want to burn out on arena content before the update comes out. So that's kind of why I'm focusing more on like story mode challenges like this. And it's just to get better too and learn the levels better. You know, I learned level 4 really well now by doing challenges like this. And, you know, I'm slowly getting more of an intimate knowledge of level 7 now because of this as well. But, you know, a lot can change in every update. They are gonna... Alright. Damn, I thought I was just inside the swing there. I think his thumb clipped my neck. Yeah, I wanna, you know, do a good solid set of streams on the arena content when it comes out. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily play it right away because I think everybody's going to be streaming arena, but maybe I should too. I kind of have a feeling that there is going to be a story mode update as well, and I'd kind of like to maybe look at the story content first before dabbling too much in the arena, or maybe I'll do, you know, an episode in each once a week. You know, so I'm kind of moving along in both sides, but I'd kind of prefer to focus on one or the other instead of doing that. With each update, there's a flood of people who come back and check it out again, and you get a buzz and you get new people who come. And, you know, I really think that this game, once it has a multiplayer option in it, you know, either co-op or just versus mode, I think the community will explode at that point. Sorry, Ozzy, but your content always gets me red flagged on YouTube, so I need to take you out of the song list. On the forums, the Steam forums, there's a weekly coffee diary from the devs. Every Monday they update it with new content. Yeah, so every Monday they come out with new info. This last week's dev diary. I hate wasting my potion at the beginning. But at least I got to use one. Yeah, so this Monday's dev diary, they said that the update was going to hit the internal testers imminently. Most likely last week, they said, barring any catastrophic delays. And usually once it hits the internal testers, it's a week or two after that it'll come out as the public update. So yeah, it's got to be within a couple weeks, hopefully, at the most. Unless they run into some major issue, which is entirely possible, it should be out soon, so... Pretty interesting. I wonder what this key is actually for. I've never noticed it. I've done a lot of hours on this level and never looked and saw a key there. If anybody knows what the key is or does, go ahead and throw it in chat. I don't mind anybody trying to give me a little bit of advice or help. Yeah, that's entirely possible. Guess we'll just have to kind of peek around and see if we can find a spot where it might be useful. I think there's a couple areas. This is the key right here. I have not seen a key like that before. I believe I've looked on the wiki page before, and there was a key mentioned on there that's purpose is unknown, so I think it might not do anything at this point. Yeah, it might just be for shenanigans at this point, but we're gonna pick it up and bring it with us anyway, just for feeling like you know, we learned something new. Man, that guy got the jump on me. Lucky I survived that. Okay, so there's this gate over here that's locked. Oh shit, okay, anybody else want to jump out? That could have been bad. Oh shit. Okay, anybody else now? Because this is a lot of ghouls for this early in the map. Sometimes there is a fail here. Okay, back to our important research here to see if this key works on this door. That's a no. Come on, come on, come on, come on! That was a hard miss on the body there. I'm going back and reviewing some of my footage on how to fight fails and what's been working and successful on them, and as far as I can tell, aiming for the head most of the time will result in a block, so that's actually not going to be too helpful to aim for the head, which is what I think I hit there. And if you aim the cursor past them, kind of maintain the stab more at like a body height, so it's a bit easier to hit them in the body instead. I think I just got unlucky there and it got hit in the horn there. Because interrupting them is what buys you the time you need to actually make enough distance to not get just mauled to shit by them. Fighting in tight is entirely possible when you're wearing armor. It's definitely doable. Even with like chain armor, you can still stick pretty tight to them and hopefully survive. But you know, when you're mostly naked, fighting in tight against them is mostly a death sentence, usually. Terrible end to what was a pretty good fight in my opinion. Sometimes that door does bug them out. Not trying to do that on purpose. Can't have this guy sneaking up behind me. Let's do a dual wield run and see if it's helping at all. So this will be just all level 3 gear with dual wield weapons. This was a previous challenge that I did. Alright, so I think I improved despite getting hit the one time. Sometimes it's just impossible to avoid it. And yeah, you can still get fucked up, but you know, I like my odds fighting Sir now when I run into him. Oh, so you came back.
Going
Yeah, training's definitely paying off, I think. That would have normally been a kill blow in the Sparta challenge, but, you know, I'm not messing up, you know, 3 times or 4 times in a fight like before. You know, it's 1 or 2 mistakes. Yes and no. I try to focus more on, you know, backpedal stab, angling a bit. When you're fighting multiple enemies, cutting them, that means going in between them and turning and getting them to attack each other. You angle it right, you can make or subtract distance between certain enemies that you want to attack. Focusing on stabbing is probably the best tactic, but then if they get too close to you, they're outside of ideal stabbing range and you need to focus more on chopping. Sometimes you just swing and miss and it gets blocked. You know, it's not a perfect formula by any means. I think being able to be flexible as well is really important. Sometimes you're just in a bad situation, you're just going to have to fight your way out. So I do try to change it up randomly as well. That's more for PvP purposes. Definitely do not want to be predictable when you're fighting other players. So sticking too close to a set sequence of attacks can lead to your demise. So being flexible and varying your attacks, varying your strategy from going from attack to defense to maneuver to charge in. There's a lot of stuff to consider. Ideally, it's pretty good to follow up a stab with swings if you're close enough to make that an opportunity. Sometimes it's just not worth it if you're concerned about bad footing and them getting an attack on you. You're taking notes. Well, that's a big compliment. I appreciate that. I hope they serve you well. Definitely heard somebody else around here. Some of it's kind of hard to explain because it just comes naturally after years of playing games like this and training in real life. You know, it kind of blends together into stuff that you don't really even think about sometimes. You know, like one of the main strategies is you want to outrange your enemies so that they miss their attack, and you do that by moving away from their swings, but you want to only do that just enough that they just barely miss their attack. And then you're going to lunge forward and stab and start opening a sequence of attacks after. You know, with the goal being staying inside of their threat range, where it minimizes the actual threat, because if you're close enough, you can really reduce how much damage they can potentially do to you. Against weapon, not so much these guys. They kind of fight by different rules. For them, their minimum distance to avoid damage is very, very small, and it's not for very long either, because they will just claw you to pieces if they get close enough. Usually when you're fighting an enemy with a weapon, it might sound unintuitive, but if you're too close to them that you're not able to make distance to break their swing or have their swing not hit you, moving forward is actually a better option, because the amount of distance and trajectory of the weapon will be smaller, and it'll just do less damage in general. And against weapons like pole arms and hammers and axes, for example, you can end up just only getting hit by the hilt, which does drastically less damage than the head of the weapon. Especially against pole axes. You know, a lot of players love the pole axe for arena and stuff like that, but if you know how to use two-hand, like dual wield or even a sword and a shield, and you can get really close inside of their threat range, they pretty much can't do anything. And that's a death sentence, right? So it might work well against AI and bots and stuff like that, but the pole hammer's big weakness is closing the gap on them and staying tight. And you can utilize that to your advantage when you're fighting skeletons and other enemies that have intelligent AI, not these beasts that just run straight at you suicidally. That's probably one of the best strategies for fighting Serve, is to hug him, stay tight in the armpits, as we saw earlier. He's easier to do that to than the Fail. The Fail's a little bit smaller, which actually makes it a bit more dangerous, in my opinion, for that. But you can outdistance Fails. You can dance around them. You can't do that against Sir. There's no kiting option, really, with him. So then, that automatically kind of makes two-handed weapons and the larger weapons not as useful. It is terrifying. It's going to take a lot of fights with Sir to kind of get over that initial fear. I kind of still do it reflexively sometimes, where I should have moved in and I moved out to try and make distance and have him miss his swing. You know, and in general with this kind of stuff too, you don't want to apply all the rules all the time. There are circumstances in every scenario where you do the opposite of what you would normally do. You know, with Sir, sometimes you're at the right perfect distance where you can actually leap out of range of him and then use that time to, you know, attack with a stab towards the head, which will do a lot of damage to him. And it's kind of worth the risk if you're able to spot the timing to be able to do that. Otherwise, you default to always move towards his body. And you'll kind of learn to recognize when those windows are just by getting messed up by him over and over again. Yeah, Grin, it'll take you a while to not be terrified in this level all the time. Damn. Definitely thought we were going to get through that. That one extra aggro was just enough to take me down. But yeah, normally that fight would not have gone that well on the last challenge. I probably would have died there as well, and not even really dented the veil. So overall, I think the training is paying off. I think it's good to kind of come back and make sure we're not losing important other skills from time to time too. Not just focus on one type of challenge all the time, because then you kind of start skewing your skills in too much in one area and not enough in all of the areas that you need to be good in. So anyway, I think I'm gonna call it here for now, guys. I gotta go do some stuff. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you had a good time. See you guys again soon. And as always, take care. Have a great Sunday, and I love you all. Come back again soon. Bye. Grid. Grid, thank you very much for the subscribe. That's awesome. You're the best. I'll see you around. Cheers.